Hello, hello. Welcome to another week, another 3 days of leaning in and leveraging the current energy. And I like to call myself Unlikely Woo. I go by the name Jenna Michelle online. And with that, I have gone on this self-discovery journey, which is now what I've discovered as an enlightenment path. And I'm here to tell the planet, share with the world what I know, how I know, all the things to change the world so we're all enlightened, masterful beings. I did not get ready today. And I was like, this is enlightenment. This is real life enlightenment. This is what I'm out to help the planet with. I believe we have been on a 64-bit system for a very long time, which is this lower density energy. I believe those who are neurodivergent have a higher frequency energy that runs through their body. And where we're headed in the planet, where we're headed as is a 128-bit system where those who are neurodivergent rock at. And in 2020, I had this theory that I have all this energy up here. What if I moved that energy and had it at my root? I'd connected to the concept of the chakras. I simply went on this curious self-discovery journey. I had told my former husband at the time, I'm like, I'm either crazy or I'm onto something. And Isaac Newton, I believe, is the person I want to refer to here. In the time of what's it called? A pandemic, plague, whatever they called it back then, he discovered laws of physics. I'd have to Google it. Don't quote me here. I just know during that time, when the whole world was shut down, he discovered something. And I had shared that. I was like, I think I'm discovering something. And I, on my little self-discovery path, did discover enlightenment through my enlightenment path. And with that, resulted in an altered state of consciousness because I quite literally blew my mind. In our Western world, when you blow your mind, the only place they have to take you is a psych box, which is where I got to go, which makes sense. In the psych box, I literally go, I'm like Albert Einstein, except I'm a woman, so no one can hear me. Where I went makes sense. It makes sense to me, perfect sense to me. Where we're going to go today makes perfect sense to me as I'm literally just in present moment self-discovery. And that's what I see as enlightenment. With that, there was a degree of awareness I captured through my experience that was overwhelming because I've been documenting this process for 2 years. I've been leveraging the current energy for 2 years. I've been pattern recognizing everything for 2 years. And as we'll discover today, which is what we're going to lean into, is this concept of timelessness is what it actually is defined in regards to gene keys. And what I'm actually going to lead into is this concept of enlightenment and dig into that. And I didn't even know what the word was. And so my desire is to create real life enlightenment, everyday enlightenment, modern day misfits is what's showing up for me, taking that which is beyond comprehension, making it consumable, which I'll mention that's my genius, and help people deconstruct what's here on the planet to enlighten, which I believe those who are neurodivergent have a leg up because we are on this energy. We just have no language around it. So what I'm out to do is demystify reality, what I call myself as unlikely woo, leverage some of the spiritual concepts and constructs, bring it into real life conversation and make it consumable. And from there, play around with it. This is a sandbox. What you're going to create with me here in this space is a sandbox. I am always shifting, changing. I believe root core belief is I can't live beyond what I believe, and all I am is my beliefs. And that's what I started like literally walking in 2020. And this whole process through the energetic process of chakras, which I'll share my stuff here soon. All that to say, it was an accident. It was a big, beautiful accident. And with that, I did, with my discovery process and methodology, literally blowing my mind, did face a near-death experience. I did face a very, very traumatic event, and it's taken a year for me to have the stability to be here today to share this with the world. And so there's a lot of righteous indignation that comes up in me because I'm so excited to share this with the planet. And with the trauma I faced when being taken against my will into a psych box, the degree of processing of trauma I had to do a second time because I've been doing it for 2 years. This traumatic experience happened when I was in there, like, this is so good. Like, literally, it's like, I discovered it. I'm going to die in here. And my friends know because I've been telling them all of this for so long. They'll figure it out. They'll be able to carry it on without me because there's nothing to really get. You really just are in the present moment self-discovery. God, source, universe, however you identify with that which is beyond comprehension, is doing this on the planet. It's not me. So I'm here watching it. I want to invite you into watching that with me. And so for me, I came to the space of dying and I was good with it. And then I fought for my life against 3 security guards, which I was then sedated and I woke up and didn't die. So I'm here and it's taken me this long. It's taken me a year to be well enough to regulate the powerful force of energy that came through me from hitting the state of enlightenment. And now I'm out to teach other people because I went from a major, major, major traumatic event and I'm back to this space of embodying the acidic frequencies. And that which you'll hear and discover is that the acidic frequencies are beyond language. Actually, I was researching with this today too. It was saying what we're out to discover is beyond our mind. The keys, codes, unlocking of what it takes to hit the highest frequencies, to embody enlightenment, to embody the things we desire, heaven on earth. It is beyond our mind, body. I'll go into this more specifically today. And so with that, there's a surrender necessary and a space of discovery you enter in, and it's perfect. You're doing it perfectly. And so for me, as I show up and like see myself all grubby and not performing at my highest, bestest, most attractive self, I'm like, this is enlightenment. What I had shared last week, if you want to check out last week when I talked about the keys to being invincible, it's simplicity. I would rather show up like this, raw, real, out loud, and meet you where you're at by meeting you where I'm at, compared to me spending 30 minutes and getting all cute for the world to see, for your ego to be appeased, for me to do what? Help you not be triggered by the mind that wants to have a problem with me? Or if you don't have a problem with me, then being able to help show and model this embodiment of enlightenment, that I'm going to do what feels good. This sweatshirt, this color right now, it feels so good. This is what feels best right now. Not getting ready feels what's best right now. And that's not something we have modeled on the planet. We have this whole, like, you need to get ready, you need to be presentable, you need to be a certain way for the world to receive you. It is true. I know if I got ready, I would be more receptive and more received. And where I'm at right now is getting started. And getting started for me is always about simplicity. So what is simple? Again, check out the keys to being invincible. If you want to look into simplicity, that was last week. And it's a huge, huge, huge thing for starting. If you're in a trying to start and don't know how to start and that whole thing, I would definitely recommend last week's, the 3 there. Highly, highly, highly recommend if you're looking at starting. Okay. Speaking of starting, what's simple is going to be sharing this presentation. I want to share my screen first before sharing the presentation. Thank you for being here, by the way. I would love to know who's here. I'd love to see. Thank you for those that commented on the last one. It makes a massive difference for me to see that it's making sense. It lights me up. Okay, so day number 1 of this week, or this code, this frequency on the planet, lasts, I think, 5 to 6 days it's on the planet. So the keys to enlightenment, that's what I'm calling this one. So this is Gene Key 5. If you're into gene keys, human design, all that kind of stuff, this will be the context there. If you're not, it's perfect. How I see this is real life, full life. Real life is the duality of impatience and patience. And am I pushy or am I being pessimistic? That energy. It's the energetic duality flip side. The transcendent energy is timelessness. So where we're headed, the acidic frequency, the heart frequency, the one where everything works is timelessness. I'll go into defining what that is because for me, it doesn't live as a clear definition. So I'll get into that soon. And really what we want to do is look at our patience and impatience. And our impatience is going to be the keys to our shadows and help us see there. Our patience is going to be when we're manifesting the gift and really our middle way. So when I'm patient, and even last week we talked about neutrality, when I'm patient and neutral, I have the power to lean into impatience and be with it powerfully and get back to here, into patience. And as I do this, I will reach a level of transcendence and wholeness that is timelessness, which again, I'll get into another. And really what I see as the embodiment of timelessness is enlightenment. They refer to timelessness as the speed of being. And so that is this enlightenment, which I'll dig into because again, this could be woo-woo words that don't make sense. I want to normalize them. So what I see with that enlightenment is to have greater knowledge, and really see that as greater awareness, the ability to pull back and see. And again, I'll dig into why this matters soon, or how this matters, or seeing it more clearly soon. This is also freed from ignorance and misinformation. Really, at the end of the day, what I see there too is freed from ignorance is a really beautiful thing, because what's actually there is ignorance. At the end of the day, keys to enlightenment is ignorance. It's being freed from it. It's being able to say, I'm no longer being harmed or trapped by ignorance. I have access to a greater knowledge. What you'll discover too is a shift. And I don't know if I say it, I don't think I'll say it today. It's part of this container and part of this concept is the common consciousness and super consciousness or cosmic consciousness. That's what I essentially discovered. That's essentially enlightenment, is this higher mind. I believe those who are neurodivergent already tapped into it. And so for me, I'm seeing a degree of clearing that's necessary. And the clearing comes by way of patience. And as you're patient and as you follow a path, it creates this ability to tap into this higher mind to get access to that which is enlightenment. It's a theory. It happened for me. I'm out to preach to the world and hope that it happens for you too. With that, as I like to say, always starting in questions. And the 3 questions I'm starting with, and really, again, want to leave you with, if this is all you make it through today, I want to leave you with things. So if you're watching my content, you get value, even if you're only able to watch it for 3 minutes. I want you to always be left with value. And I always want my content to be timeless. So you can watch it at any time. You can watch it for any amount of time. I want every word to spark something in you that is a space of creation, and really expanding you and with bringing about more enlightenment always. So with that, the questions I have to leave you with, you want to write these down and take them with you, is walking into these questions. What's my pattern here? Can I see my pattern? And am I experiencing pessimism or pushiness? The shadow frequency of impatience is the dualistic expression of pessimism or pushiness. So if you're in the shadow frequency, so if you're out of impatience and you're in, or if you're out of patience, if you're out of impatience, you would be impatient. If you're out of coming through here. If you are impatient, the antidote is patience. And if you are patient, you will be tempted to lean into patience. It's a very, it's really like, it's a tip. You're one or the other. It's very dualistic. And the key here, what we want for alignment, like this is the tossing to and fro, the alignment is just simply the awareness that this is what's going to happen. And when I see this is what's going to happen, I get to just watch. This is what's going to happen. I'm going to get impatient. I'm going to be patient. I'm going to get impatient. I'm going to be patient. It's this. And as a result, you'll eventually transcend that when you're watching your pattern. Oh, that's what I'm doing. I do that. Oh yeah, that's what I'm doing. I do that. I'm experiencing pessimism. That's my pattern. What are the keys, codes, tools I want to leverage to transcend that, to enlighten here? What if I'm being pushy? Oh, I'm being pushy. Okay. What are my keys, codes, things that I want to tap into to leverage the fact that I now have the awareness of the pattern? So as a result, I can plug in this code and it changes the pattern. It's really powerful. So that's the keys. And I want to say codes, actually. So I might shift that to the codes to enlightenment, because I do think they're codes. I'm hoping to write codes. Okay. This is my genius, making it make sense. I will also tell you I am autistic, hyperverbal. And so there's a degree of my genius, and communicating it in simplicity is something I almost overdo. As a result, it can flood the other person because I kind of overdo it. So I do a lot of words to work on making it as simple as possible. And as I do that, I formulate something more, and then I create more simplicity. So I'm always evolving in the space of simplicity. And for me, this is as good as it gets. So I'm trying my best when it comes to packaging my genius. And I'm out to take that which is beyond comprehension and make it consumable. And so what you'll see is me presenting in this raw, authentic way, channeling the keys and the codes that I have in me, because it's not up here, it's in my body. I'm talking from my body, not thinking. As a result, I get to discover out loud what's in here. And as I discover what's out loud here, it's making that make more sense. It's taking it and making it even more consumable, more simple, more whatever. And I have to puke it out because it's not up here. I have to get in real life. I have to be in the present moment. I have to be in present awareness. I have to be in present co-creation. I have to leverage the current energy. And when I discover it out here, I get to discover something. And then from there, I can transcend it. And that is the path and methodology. That is real life, whole life. Get rooted in the present moment, present self-awareness. I take action and I discover fire. Did it burn me and it felt good? Or did it burn me and it felt bad? That's my feedback, feelings. With that, as I discover the fire that I mean, in many ways too, I see the action I take. Was it impatience that I got burned by, or was it patience and it's lighting me up? If I'm walking in essentially the gift side of this energy, I will discover love. And as I discover love, I'll be able to speak from a place that's rooted in the truth. And when I'm speaking from a place that's rooted in the truth, I will begin to discover passion. I'll be so lit up. I'm so passionate about this. And as I do that, I will discover purpose. And this process that I call radical alignment, or my radical alignment path, or my enlightenment path. Radical alignment, I guess I want to say this. Radical alignment, which is what I would change this language to, this is radical alignment. Real life, whole life is my path and methodology to radical alignment. That's what it is. So yeah, discovering out loud. This is my enlightenment path. Real life, whole life. This is my path and methodology to radical alignment. I've been walking this since 2020 as I just literally got started here. And then I got started here. And then this happened. And so I did this whole long journey path for 3 years, essentially. And I watched it manifest in my life. And I was like, I think I'm onto something. I actually called it my unstoppable system when I first started, because I was like, I think this is a theory. I'm making this up. I have no idea. And so when I manifested being inside of a psych ward box with having a mental and medical emergency, because my whole thing is the nervous system, when I was facing my death, when I discovered heaven on earth was here, and I'm out to remove hell off the planet, that's my purpose. It was really overwhelming to literally 2020 start this path and 2022 be in a box facing my death, discovering I discovered it. I literally, this is traumatic for me and I still want to capture it here. I literally am there using my food on the table as I'm laying there having an electrical emergency, stuck in this energetic release that essentially is shutting my nervous system down. I will say it's earlier in the evening, I had walked to the bathroom and I fell to my knees because my heart felt like it was going to explode. And I cried out, I just cried out. I said I felt like a bomb. I cried out because I was in so much physical pain, and they picked me up and threw me. And right after that, that's when I said, someone made a big mistake. I'm like Albert Einstein, because I hit the energetic state of enlightenment, and on the planet, we don't have context for this. So as a result, I didn't get medical treatment. As a result, you're not going to get mental treatment either. I was diagnosed as bipolar and given medication when I was like, I don't need medication. I'm really clear here. It was a very traumatic experience. And inside of that box, when I'm laying there being electrocuted with all this energy in me, I took my food from my lunch and literally made the chakras. And I am talking to the camera. The week prior, I'd met Elise Myers, who had told me, go make all the content. And I was like, this wasn't the content I was thinking I was going to make. So I did. I was like, this is going to be my essential death video, and we're going to show the world my system and hope and pray that people will make sense of it. So that's what I went through July 6th, 2022. And today is June 3rd, 2023. And this experience started the end of June last year and really culminated on July 3rd, the evening of, well, actually all of July 3rd, and then primarily July 4th, and the evening of July 3rd. So it's literally, I'm kind of down to the wire for the last month before the energy resets on the planet. So this is wild. I get hooked, and I'm also capturing my story here. So thank you for listening. I'm really excited to share. Okay, so I want to be honest, I did not update the text here, and it's still fairly true. So my enlightenment path, I believe it is written in the stars and divinely orchestrated. I believe present moment awareness, wholeness, surrender, trust, those essences is what gets us here. I believe the orchestration of acidic frequencies, enlightenment is literally orchestrated by the energy on the planet. You can see that as spirit, you can see that as God, you can see that as Eros, as the energy force that is on the planet, the life forces on the planet. I believe everything is divinely orchestrated, and that's what I believe. And if that's not where you're at, not a problem. I'll say firsthand, I believe that's due to a frequency state of duality. So I'm out to demystify reality, so you can choose that powerfully. And what I say here is in real love is I believe faith is still needed as we gather more proof of the benevolent force that is working all things together for good. There is a need for faith in a benevolent force to have the capacity to discover that there is a benevolent force working all things together. So I see that as real love. And I'm very clear if what's happened to you on this planet has led you to where that's not even accessible. That makes sense. So I'd desire and invite you to stay in the room with me to simply discover, because I believe God will prove himself, herself, themselves, however you want to define it. It's beyond language. The second I say God, I'm already wrong. It's beyond language. And so with that, it is, I believe, an energetic, benevolent force that is orchestrating all things. It has orchestrated all things, and we can leverage so much history. And we're headed into a new age and headed into a golden age of enlightenment. And I have a unique little path that helps people do that. So that get excited. I get really excited. Okay. Real life. So my enlightenment path is real life. And so I believe, also known as my truth, as I'll call it, is that we are our beliefs and we cannot live beyond our beliefs. And that's my belief. So if you too believe this is as truth, you will experience resonance, which gives feedback as a feeling of alignment, which we kind of talked about my path. And this creates agreement, making it more true. So true north to me is living in alignment with my divine, radically aligned truth. True beliefs about me with those in resonance. So that's what I see as real life. And I didn't update that, so I changed these all to real life, and that was from my last time, and so it's a little, I'd make it more accurate, and that's what we got. Okay, so real life, real love, real discovery. Due to how I experienced this as constructed, there's a belief in me and what I am sharing that can help you in this in between. You can discover firsthand, or you can discover vicariously through me, and firsthand discovery creates the most momentum. And that's what I was discovering last week. So that's just real life discovery. And then real harmony, which I really see this as whole life. Whole life is harmony. And I believe we all have an innate knowing and desire for harmony and for all that is wrong to be made right. With the connection to the desire and drive of this concept, the concept of miserable gets created. Because we have a desire for harmony, there's a dissonance that can happen. So there's resonance and dissonance. And because of this, there's the space in between or the path and process to resonance. And then there's resonance here and then dissonance here. And so it's creating a world that is in resonance. So really my enlightenment path is radical alignment, and which is resonance. Discovered that right there. So without the desire for harmony, there is no disharmony. And I believe this is our true north. And that's a whole life process that I've got. Okay. You make sense. I'm going to start with my path methodology rooted stuff. You are a set of patterns programmed to hell. I actually have a picture of this where I'll flip this graph upside down. This is a polyvagal chart. I would like to, for me, I desire to flip it upside down because I believe hell is essentially the top of that. And there is a climbing out that's necessary. I don't believe that. I mean, no, I just see it different. So are you ready to transcend hell, your hell, the dissonance that you have in your body? I see this is done by timelessness, discovery, which leads to discovery, which leads to enlightenment. Why I show this too is because this is, again, my theory that I saw myself up here and I was like, I rock here. I'm discovered I was ADHD, literally self-medicate with stress. I'm trapped here. I don't have access to even getting out if I wanted to. With that, I've spent the last 2 years to find ways to enlighten and get to I can and deactivate. And as a result, I now live here. This is where I live, and this is what I'm out to teach people how to live here. I will say it was here and it was impossible. It took me 2 years of self-discovery. I desire to give you the keys and the codes that I discovered so that timeline goes so faster. And it still takes time, which I'll talk about soon, because there's still a program and pattern rooted in hell that is needing to get uprooted. So It's this space in between, the void. It's being able to hold two truths. So you make perfect sense. I'm out to help you make sense. You are a set of patterns programmed to hell. And I want to ask, are you ready to transcend hell? And we're going to do that by timelessness, discovery, and ultimately enlightenment. So I'm Jenna Michelle. I'm here and I'm committed, determined, and devoted to enlightenment. Are you here for enlightenment too? If yes, let's declare that together and expand our present awareness, which is where enlightenment exists. To say this with me, we are here for enlightenment. I have found one of the keys and codes is saying something 3 times, reading something 3 times. There's a pattern of 3. I have a theory that it's being able to hear it for your head, hear it for your heart, hear it for your gut. Theory, no idea. And I continue to see it for over a year pattern. I pattern recognize this. This is my genius. So I'm going to say it 3 times, and I'll say it'll technically be 4, and it's 3 times. So we're here for enlightenment. We are here for enlightenment. We are here for enlightenment. For this week, enlightenment is the experience of timelessness, essentially grounding into that. So timelessness, the quality of not appearing to be affected by the process of time passing or by changes in fashion. So the speed of being. An example I saw when this was looking this up was Shakespeare. It's timeless. What's getting created is not limited to any sort of passing of time. It's outside of the constructs of what current culture, time, all of that is. That's timeless. You want to be timeless. I want to be timeless. I want to be outside of space and time and be in this eternal, ever-present, ever-powerful access to all things. The second you insert time, the degree of limitation you have is outrageous. So the second you insert time, you are in here. Here is time. Here is out of time. Timelessness is experiences of joy, curiosity, openness, mindfulness. That's timeless. That's just going to be here. That's the ever-present benevolent force that's on the planet. Once you insert time, you're in survival, and then you're in these worlds. With that, this is what stands in the way of enlightenment. These dualistic reality. Enlightenment is the awareness of this, simply the awareness of it. That's it. Once you're aware, you're enlightened. That's it. Then it's a matter of downloading, shifting, having the program of hell present so you can do something with it. And as you do something with it enough times over, you transcend it and you're back to where you started. Enlightenment. It's this ability to really take a step back and become the observer and watch your human program. Human program, hell. I'm out to transcend hell. My human program is going to do stuff and give me a ton of feedback. I'm going to discover my root core beliefs. I'm going to discover my subconscious out here. And as I discover my subconscious out here, I get to play around with it. That goes away. We're going to keep that. This goes in here. That goes away. We're going to do that. You get to play with it. If you are all of these things, you're one and the same with your program, and you're trapped in hell. Literally. Preparation for death, trapped. Freeze. And what is the majority of the planet doing? Living in preparation for death, living in avoidance of death, living in space. They're doing all the things so that when they retire, they have enough money to live well before they die. The concept of time is an illusion. Chasing that which is out there, waiting for it to come here, is a whole racket of destruction that is keeping our planet in hell. So the way of enlightenment is getting to timelessness and getting outside of time. This is our brain. This is our current engine. This is what runs this hell program. It's up until now, like literally all of time, Garden of Eden, before Garden of Eden, whenever time got created, until now, this present moment with me, we have not had the awareness of how to be timeless. With all of the science, all of the nervous system stuff I'm about to share here, what I'm about to say is my path and methodology to enlightenment, why I'm declaring and owning this, which is really overwhelming. Up until now, this present moment, June 3rd, 9:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, we didn't have the awareness how to get out of hell scientifically through my own path and methodology. There's other science out there. I didn't make this out of thin air. Like I literally just over 2 years, took all the science and put it together, and it was like ABC, ABC, ABC. If you do ABC, you get out. That was a discovery. I did it. I got out. I'm out of the matrix. I've transcended the program. I hit enlightenment. I embodied the acidic frequency. I did it. They say you can't do that. They also say you can't teach it. So here we are. I'm about to teach you what I know. Our current engine, more neurons than stars in the sky. These neurons are programmed to hell, programmed to death, programmed to survival. That's all we've had up until now. All we've had up until now, until the stars, moon, and sky shifted to current reality, has been survival. We made it. Check. We did it. Now we made it. We all know we made it. Now let's go to the next stage and phase. The next stage and phase, I believe, is this 128-bit system, being neurodivergent. And those who are neurodivergent have a different interest-based nervous system. They have a nervous system that's more connected to all of the things, hypersensitivity. I believe there's an expanded brain state, more neurons. This is also from the context of researching in regards to the autistic brain. I have a theory those with ADHD are under the neurodivergent spectrum, and that we both have a different nervous system. And I don't exactly know the science behind it, and we're all discovering. And all I know is I watch a lot of people who are ADHD become autistic as they self-discover and unmask. So that's a theory. Neocortex is responsible for time. So this is our brain. This is the human evolved program. We're out to evolve past this and tap into the higher mind, higher conscious, super consciousness. That's what I tapped into. It blew my mind. I want to do it I want to create resources on the planet so we're not scared of these things happening. Lots of people do these things. They live inside of this world. I call myself unlikely woo. I accidentally discovered it through my own path and methodology. And so I'm out to teach everyone so we don't send more people to the box when you blow your mind and discover super consciousness. I'm out to help people discover super consciousness. I'm out to have people embody the acidic frequency. I'm out to have people embody heaven on earth with me. And it's a path and a process and a program. So I'm out to create a lot of resources so people are supported and leverage other resources that are out there. All that to say, with our brain. Also, essentially, I believe this is the pineal gland. Essentially, I blew my pineal gland and tapped into that. And this is the seat of the soul and where you have access to all information on the planet. So if you have a bad memory, good. You want to be tapped into this higher mind, higher brain, higher consciousness. So you don't need a memory. You simply a present moment and all things just come through you exactly as you need to know. You don't need to know anything. It's really freaking amazing. And we have a social construct culture program that has you walk away from that. It literally feels like death. Literally feels like death. So there's a degree of dying that has to happen because the program has to die. The program of hell has to die, and you have to discover it. And the program of hell is driving. So you have the biofeedback of this all up here. So you have this biofeedback already. We want to get you into I can, and just heads up, if you do this enough times over and process all your trauma and you hit heaven, it will blow your mind. It will blow your mind. So with that, neocortex, your rational thinking brain, because it goes beyond all rational thought. Actually, it's not. It's very rational. And so that's what I'm about to teach. The limbic, emotional, feeling brain. This brain is stronger than you. Your emotions are stronger than you. You can become aware of them and learn better patterns. And the pattern that is you, this reptilian brain, what got us here, instinctual dinosaur, this whole thing is so much stronger than you. All we can do is become aware of the programs, become aware of the neocortex, that literally this creates time on the planet. As a result, as this creates time, this creates feelings and thoughts based on that. And then we've got instinct reptilian brain going on there too. So this whole combination creates hell on earth. What we want to do is love the hell out of ourselves and reprogram, reshift all the things so we're able to transcend this mind. It got us here. Again, all of time until now, it got us here. We would not be here without this brain. Those who are neurodivergent, I believe, have a different brain type, a higher brain, evolved brain state that allows us to tap into this higher consciousness and begin to actually be outside of space and time and be in these acidic frequencies, acidic states. I believe we're massively prepared for this, because what do we say? Symptom of ADHD, time blindness. Is that a problem, or is that acidic frequency and you're actually in flow state? Here's the thing. We've got gamma waves, these 30 hertz, a frequency that can do multiprocessing. Those who are ADHD, concentration isn't something that necessarily comes in play until you're in hyperfixation, hyperfocus. Did you know that with hyperfixation, hyperfocus, it comes by way of interest, authentic interest? So for me, the thing is, if ADHD can always do what they're authentically interested, if I build a life in alignment with my highest self purpose and what I'm doing on the planet, which gives me biofeedback to keep building, the world is bringing me things. If I lean into them, I'm going to be hyper concentrated. I believe it's a gift that we have. And with that, when we do that, we hit these flow states. We hit our alpha brain waves. We get out of the program. We hit here. So what I want to do is expand that capacity. And then when you get to theta, you're getting inner peace, deep meditation, and you begin to literally live life with access to your subconscious. And you lose body awareness, which is wild too, because those who are neurodivergent often have a degree of bodily awareness or loss of bodily awareness. And for me, it's this desire of how do I actually align my being to the order and frequency of my environment so that I can be out of my body and not have consequences, actually creating this really harmonious environment so my body operates correctly. And that's much of what got discovered for me as I had my nervous system reset. I was on a sound table frequency, having my cells vibrate at a pure frequency. And it, as a result, created a degree of order in my life. And with a traumatic event, my life is completely disordered now. I'm working on rebuilding that order. I'm working on re-embodying this acidic frequency as a way of being. And so there's all the leveraging of tools that I have that come through for me to be able to get this. And it doesn't come easy. I went to hell. I'm still climbing out of hell. I still have stuff coming up. I have hit the acidic frequencies and I'm working on re-embodying them as a forever state, as there's still a lot of impatience and patience and that whole duality. So with that, what I want to say is what I see here is the awareness of all these key indicators in science, allowing us to then tap into transcendence, which at the end of the day, all that is enlightenment. Enlightenment is the ability to step back and surrender and say, someone else has got the keys here. They're driving. They could teach me to drive. I'll learn to drive along with them. And there's a degree of it's still like I'm driving and they're driving. So I can pretend in a way I'm driving with them and co-create that, or maybe step on the gas or the brake and they let me drive for a little bit. There's someone else driving this. I get to simply observe. What I can also do is actually take off my hands off the wheel and actually step back and just observe it all together. And I believe that's where true enlightenment is. And I do believe there's a degree of needing to have your hands on the wheel as this is new territory. To expect enlightenment out of someone is a degree of putting hands on a wheel. It's hands off. As I like to say, spirit's doing it. It's all on the planet. It's all energy. It's happening in and through me and in spite of me. So I can simply hands off it and then wait to see what shows up. And then, for example, I get to co-create this. I'm willing to step in and put my hands on the wheel and drive along with and create some words. And for me, it's simply, I know at the end of the day, I take my hands off, it's already going to happen. And so there's an invitation I get to have by partnering and co-creating with the planet. It's wild. It's overwhelming. And that's what I invite you into. Stepping into partnering with the planet. And I believe we do that by having tools, gamma tools, quite honestly, tools that we can tap into when we're at this frequency. And then from there, get subconscious feedback, because what's here is the feedback of our subconscious. And we're only able to access our subconscious up here, which is also why I'm very big on doing, what's it called when you do meditation at night? Meditation. I saw a reflection, it was my own reflection in the beer and it tweaked me out there. So anyways, I'll let that go. Okay. Our beliefs. I'm going to say this for me. I'm not going to project this on you. This is what I'm creating as our beliefs. You may be here. You may be not a problem. All is great. But I'm creating the key right here is our beliefs. If we want to enlighten our awareness of the body, brain, and nervous system, if we want to enlighten our awareness of the body, brain, and nervous system gives us the keys and codes to figure out how to drive this human program that we were given to use with the life we have been given. I'm still breathing. I still have life. I can't mess it up. I'm doing it perfectly. And with the awareness of this is a possibility, there begins to be value that's aware. You're aware of the value. And so you're driven by the things you value. I want to add that in. And then the feedback we have based on what we value would be pessimistic or pushy, which actually I heard this yesterday and the value thing just popped back in and I didn't add it here and it's just showing up. The distinction between AI and humanity is value, is the ability to value something and have it matter. I believe what I value more than anything is to end the program of hell on the planet and really live out the setting prisoners and captives free, the first one being me. And really, there's no peace and harmony for me until there's peace and harmony for the planet. And so for me, I find there's a degree of pain and heartache that I operate with simply because of my desire. As a result, I can have this pessimistic experience or this pushy experience, and all that's doing is manifesting in me more of the program of hell. So as within, so without, I can focus on me. And as a result, the whole world changes around me. And as I do that, more people change around me and more people change around me. And what I want is by sharing this, I desire others to discover what works for me. I also get to discover more powerfully, more loudly what still lives in here. And what shows up is I then get feedback. I'm dancing with the planet, so then I get feedback. So am I being pessimistic or pushy? What do I want to do with that? How do I want to enlighten here? How do I want to transcend here? What am I aware of? What can I play with? Simply present moment dancing with life. When we give up the fight, we have access to the keys that drive our higher mind. We're fighting, we're in peace, we're fighting. What we want is this access to the higher mind where we get to tap into pure creativity, all of this frequency that actually embodies this energy in a way that's pure magic and miracles. And that's what I want to help the world see. So we start with the root. If we do not have access to present awareness or neutrality, as we talked about last week, we're simply operating in a program of our present beliefs rooted in duality. All there is to do is become aware that this is a program of belief. We didn't put it there. As I like to share, we're born into this world in the meditative state. Access to the subconscious, first 7 years, I believe. As a result, I like to say the 7 people we are around program our brain. And that's what we run. That's the hell program we run, that we're out to transcend and we're at the end of the line. Like literally all of humanity, all of time is leading up until now. Jenna Michelle Stagner, 63943. I keep declaring this, that we can end hell, transcend hell, and be instant enlightenment. Thank you, Jesus. And begin to see this as science. Heaven on earth is here. All the things that Jesus was talking about 2,000 years ago, all the time has passed. Now is the time. It's go time, friends. I have the science to share. Kind of like I was declaring, heaven on earth is here on the 4th of July, and the 5th of July, and the 6th of July. It's what got taken me into the psych box. I literally was declaring heaven on earth is here, and that's what took me in. That I was given a case. I'm gravely disabled, a threat to myself and everyone else. And then I got out and was like, okay, I'm gonna spend 40 days chilling the frick out because I discovered something really big. And then when I went to start talking about it, I got a protection order by the people who took me in. So testing, 1, 2, 3. I'm still practicing how to be me out loud. Okay, and how to move through this hell program that I'm rooted in the duality, rooted in all of this. And so you're gonna get to see me be real out loud with that. You also can show up on Instagram. I am Jenna Michelle, where I show up real raw out loud, and you can follow my real life. And also I'm working on the Jenna Michelle show, which will have more content in regards to me processing me, where real life whole life is the path and methodology that I want to create for you to leverage tools to transcend and to get to neutrality and present awareness, being able to hold two truths at the same time, to be able to be with duality. You can see the program. I got patience and impatience. That's what we got. I can dance with them. I can say, thank you. I'm going timeless. I'm going to step back. You guys enjoy your life. I want to be here. You get to choose. And I don't believe many people have a choice, because in hell, you don't have a choice. So that's where we want to start with the root. So with our present awareness, we co-create timelessness. My enlightenment is committed to providing all I know, understand, and believe in my most timeless way. I have created this presented conversation with a desire for you to embody the Siddhic state of timelessness, always and in all ways. This is an experience beyond language, so my words will fall short. And I will give you my enlightenment and believe together we are timeless. That felt so good to say out loud. Okay, so where do we start? This is, if you watched the 3 last weeks, some of this will start to be rhythmic, so you can start seeing how we process these each week. Where do we start? I believe we can't live beyond what we believe or what another person believes. I believe this is a root core of what is at play with our time together is our beliefs. That's really all that's here. And as my root core belief is timelessness is enlightenment or self-discovery. So that's what I believe. That's where we're going to start. My root core belief is timelessness, stepping out, is enlightenment. And what is actually there is self-discovery. You get to see the program in front of you. You get to see all the other options. You get to tap into a higher brain state in due time. It doesn't always happen instantaneously. And as you listen to the whispers of this higher mind, you begin to expand this. And I will say a big spot there too is self-discovery. That's a whole other topic we'll get into soon because that's part of the process. You're going to discover the voice in your head is going to preach a hell program. And so it's learning the tools so you're able to be with the hell program that gets preached and see it, love it. I call it my mind monsters and mantras. Like, you suck. And I'm like, yeah, I suck. I'm like this whole hell program. And all I do is a pattern set of programs that I do over and over and over again that create hell on the earth. That sucks. I do suck. Thank you for recognizing how much I suck. I'm going to simply say, thank you for your awareness. I'm also aware of this and I'm working on it. So what I see is true is, yes, at this current state, I kind of suck. And if I didn't suck, I wouldn't have this discovery. So I'm doing the best I've got and I'm really proud of it. And if my best sucks for you, then you're welcome to, like, I'm not going to listen to you anymore. I'm doing my best. If that sucks for you, enjoy your life. That's like how I talk to my ego. So that's the dialogue that I have with my mind monster or my ego. Ego creates duality. Ego creates hell. What I'm about to do is transcend the ego, be in enlightenment. And again, my root core belief is timelessness is enlightenment, stepping out of that and being able to move through that through self-discovery, which again is a root core tenet we'll get into another time. So what do you believe? Imagine timelessness. This was a tricky one for me. Again, what helped the most for me was looking at Shakespeare as timelessness. I want to have you take a moment to see, what does this look like for you? And you can pause here too if you need more time. I just want you to kind of look out the window. Imagine timelessness. If you can, might not be able to, it might be beyond imagination. I really see, as I say that too, observer effect, like getting sucked off the planet and looking down at everything. Bringing my conscious awareness outside of time. Really see too, again, that neocortex is time. So imagine timelessness, where this thing is in what runs. I'll also say this too, my body, my nervous system, I believe is timeless. I believe my gut knows all things at all times. It's a higher brain. I'm going with my gut. There's a whole thing there I'd like to get into. So what actually just showed up as I imagined timelessness was my heart and my gut. I also have some left-right brain coherence right now, which is the biofeedback that I have after tapping into super consciousness. So it's a nervous system feedback when you hear truth. So I just said that out loud and I have a little buzzing in my brain. And I was like, oh, well, there's some resonance there. So that's what I'm out to teach and be able to help people transcend to. So do we have alignment? Are we headed in the same direction? Does your picture of timelessness line up with mine? Not a problem if it doesn't. And could the words and pictures you selected also work for the definition? Oh, the words and pictures, I needed to change that for this one, would be enlightenment. Could the words and pictures you selected for timelessness also be matched up with the definition for you of what you have for enlightenment? Alignment is our key, which is harmony, wholeness. So are we headed in the same direction? Let's go for a test drive. So if we're heading in the same direction, what I'm about to say on the next slide will have resonance. If we're not heading in the same direction, you'll have dissonance. So I am timeless. What I say and create is of value to everybody for eternity. I am the most important being. My beliefs are timeless and radically aligned to my true self, pure power, and potential. Do we believe this? We all have a prior context. So where are we looking? As I like to share with this analogy in this picture, am I looking in the rearview mirror that says, I'm not the most important being? I've got some program that tells me I can't. I'm a piece of crap. I'm worthless. You can do that. Not a problem. It's what's got you here. It's what had you survive hell, or to transcend hell and take it to the next level, which makes you the most important being. Because we have a hell program and you're getting out of hell. So if you get out of hell, you become the most important being because you're in frequency of those that are in heaven. And so you become very important here because you hold a frequency that everybody needs to get out of hell. You hold the keys and the codes to help people get out of hell. So you're the most important being. The thing is also importance comes into the context of duality. So why I say it too is almost a trigger to discover what is your subconscious beliefs. I am the most important being. If your body and brain has dissonance there, you've got a subconscious program that was programmed by people that wasn't even you to do that. Think of you being born into this world. You were the most important being. All attention went to you to eat, drink, that. If you didn't, if that wasn't how you were treated, like you were the most important being, to be given life because you come in with life and you weren't treated that way, that goes in here and that's what's running this. That's what's keeping you in hell because you had family that was doing their best in hell and that was their best, which is not okay. You are the most important being. So I'm here to retrain, reprogram, and preach to your little soul that came into this world as the most important thing. As I like to say for myself, I came into this with going through divorce. It was hard for me too, being literal autistic. I had a very hard time because I gave a vow to my husband. I don't know how to break that vow because it's all bad, broken, wrong if I do. So with that, I realized coming into this world, I made a vow to myself. I made a vow to my soul to live out my purpose, my true self, my pure power, my potential. I made a vow to me. I'm the most important thing. So that deconstructs a lot of the Western world context. And so it's not easy to be with. And in that, it's the program. I'm the most important being. What shows up? There you go. That's all it is. It's a little program. Look at that. Oh, that's cute. You don't think I'm important. That's cute. I'm really sorry. I actually don't think I'm important. I'm really sorry for the way you're treated. That would make you think that. You're so important. I'm so sorry. I love you. Please forgive me for the ways that I have not done this sooner. I love you. Talking to my little heart. Being able to say, okay, heart, you good? I'm good. Okay, put you back in here. Trying to see in there. Being able to really see our little program heart and just loving it, putting it back in. Okay. I also don't believe in inner child, inner self kind of thing. So that's a whole nother opinionated thing. My brain's literal and I have a hard time with that. So that's just let's get into another day if you're interested. Okay. Do we have drive? Now that we're clear on where we're looking, the direction we're driving, which I see as simply looking at our little hell program and loving the hell out of it. Do we know how to drive? Which position is our car in? If I'm driving with my hell program, I'm creating more hell. If I'm in reverse, I'm trying to run away from the hell program, which is I'm not even able to see what's there. How do we get to neutrality and actually look at it, see it, shift, be, and then be in power? Actually choose drive compared to it choosing us. We want to be really good at neutral is what I like to say. Timelessness is discovery. It's outside of space and time and allowing life to show up and then observing time. It's beyond space and time. So actually that's a new discovery to set out now too. Timelessness is the ability to observe and see time. And when you see time and look at time, that's discovery. Okay, I'm going to leave you with this. I'm going to leave. My thing won't move. There we go. Okay. So I'm gonna leave you there. How we do anything or how you do everything. I'm working really hard to change you because it's so accusatory. The little hell program has a really hard time with you. How we do anything is how we do everything. What we are currently experiencing is what there is to a transcend. Every day, enjoy your day. I feel like every day, enjoy your day and be aware of the program. That's all there is to do. That's it. I can talk for 5,000 hours and give 5,000 hours of teaching. You can watch 5,000 hours, or you can discover soon that you'll learn to trust me and simply watch the first 5 minutes and essentially enjoy your day and be aware of the program. And that's all there is to do. It's simply, how do I get you the tools so you're equipped and you don't even need to be here? You can peace out. And then you can send my video to all your friends that you hang out with, and they're like, you need Jenna's program because you obviously don't know how to function. That's how I now live. So I'm working on creating it so I can say, go watch my video. I'm going to be enlightened and just enjoy my day and be aware of the program. Create content for you so you can watch this. I love you all so much. I'm going to continue to transcend my capacity of presentation and make this more simple, 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 enlighten, enlighten, enlighten. And really what's there for me is it's hard for me to create content because all that I have is this. Like, that's it. So everything else is a bunch of words that I'm like, I don't even know what I'm saying. Enjoy your day and be aware of the program. That's it. That's all there is to do. And I'm seeing people are trapped in hell without the tools to get out. And so that's when I keep going. I do believe awareness, education, understanding makes a massive difference. With my enlightenment experience, I had no idea what happened to me. So it was very scary. This Western world is programmed to hell, and anything outside of hell feels like you're a psychopath. I mean, that's literally like, I have felt like I've crazy for a year. It's as I create content, I'm like, why did I think I was crazy? I'm brilliant. And so I see those who are neurodivergent, the curse of being gifted, the curse of being other, the curse of being outside, the curse of being not understood by the world, being made for a different world. I'm a little preachy today too, and just all enlightenment and passion. Is this making sense? It's there for me. Timelessness as the theme of this. So I'll take a step back. You know, it's timeless. My hips are making a little affinity symbol too, which is something that I do when I'm in harmony. My body has this biofeedback. It's really beautiful. I believe this is part of being neurodivergent. I believe this is part of being in harmony with the planet. I believe it's dancing and music frequency coherence. There is major keys here. Really, I guess at the end of the day is enjoy your day, listen to pure frequency music, and be aware of the program. That's all there is to do. It's that brain state that we need to work on, our subconscious that we need to work on. Everything else in our conscious state is a program of hell. All there is to do is work on our subconscious. That's it. All the codes and the keys that we're working on shifting are only accessible of shifting and rewiring in our subconscious. I mean, yes, you can wire them when you're awake. You just don't even have the brain state to access your subconscious. So you can do it. It's just the energy it takes is literally like, I ain't got time for that. Give me a program to listen to while I sleep. Give me music to listen to while I live my day. Watch the codes of the music rewire my harmony. Why do you think we stem music? It literally is a pattern that our brain learns. And the frequency of our music, the words in our music, is it created content from hell that's keeping us in here and helping us feel safe in hell? Or is it created music that we may not enjoy at first because our bodies don't have the nervous system cells to even receive that music? How can we have this music and space in between that I really see as real life music, where it allows us to be in the real spaces and actually use that and do the frequency of the planet? And that's where I personally love Spotify, because I find so many creators who are creating real, authentic, raw music that can allow you to be with what's real and create the frequency of wholeness, so that together you can put them together and create harmony together. And so that's what I've got. Let's enjoy your day, listen to music, and be aware of the program. That's all there is to do. I love you all. The only thing I'm going to say here to end it is that, like, timelessness, what's eternal and timeless is frequency. So play around with that. Love you all. Let me know what you discover. I'd love to know in the comments. Love you to follow, subscribe. I'll be doing day 2 of this, and we'll keep digging deeper every single week. Okay, stop share. Okay, there we go. Have an awesome enlightened day.